It sounds really loud. It sounds really loud. All right. It sounds really loud. All right. It sounds really loud. All right. Hello. That should be a little bit better now. Shouldn't be such a catastrophe. That should be a little bit better now. Okay. I thought there was some latency. You have to let me know if the music is too loud, too faint. I'm just trying something I tried a couple, not this last time, but a few times ago. It was really loud at the very beginning, so I apologize. Just put on a little, I don't know. I need to just take some time and go through my OBS, and me and Junior are I'm gonna either get I don't know, I'm gonna get something for Christmas, something little. Actually, I got that power washer, so that was pretty cool for free. I'm gonna read my chat. Hey, Sterling Wheel, how you doing, man? Hope you're having a good night. What's up, bro, man? How you doing? Not bro, like man like that, but what's up, bro? Dude, brother, how you doing? Probably just us, thankfully for that, but yeah, hope you're all doing good. Yeah, me too, dude. It's brutal right now, man. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but tonight was just a big bag of poo. Big bag of poo. Unbelievable the nonsense that Junior's been not only pulling but exposing me to, like, just and freaking neighbor Rob drives home with his second Oshkosh, which is awesome, but I'll have to screenshot and send you some of the messages my son sent me tonight. So it's pretty funny. I mean, I just had to laugh at the one. I can't wait to show Rob. It's hilarious. Like, and I went through that phase. I remember that 12-year-old, 13-year-old, just F the world. I know everything. You don't know nothing. Like, I don't know, man. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Hey, Ford, good to see you back. Ford Moolah, Westy, oh, you're good, dude. It seems like a little more lately than ever. I mean, I like to say my little bubble is just a little bitty bubble, but you see the world. I don't. I mean, I do from a very small lens. So those who don't travel live, and those who travel see the world, or something like that. It was on Lato's video today at the end. I can't quote it, but I thought that notice was old. I'm sorry for it. I don't know. Oh, earlier. Yeah, I don't know. I had some crazy streams settings and stuff. I was started a live, ended one about 3 times earlier. So I apologize for that. I just started this up here 4 minutes ago. Hopefully you haven't witnessed like, or you just, yeah, Sterling, you have to drive, man. And I think driving is a time of compassion where we can give each other as humans a sense of safety, like, hey, we're sharing this space for a moment in time, let's be courteous. And it just doesn't work that way. One of my Porsche and VW mentors quit and closed shop today. That sucks. And that sucks your auto block went on, Ford. Yeah, that does suck. I've got a little bit of a mentor story, but it turned out to be a crazy story of fraud and lies and deceit. So it wasn't a mentor at all. But like at the beginning, it might have been, my sleep block is automatically on at 8 p.m. Oh, on your phone. Gotcha. That's good. Sleep is good, okay? We got to get sleep every now and then. And I'm going to put the gloves on. This is a new motor up in the cradle, so we didn't go to Madison. I didn't give Rob a ride to work. We will be giving Rob a ride to work in the morning. Not before I do a video. I'm not going to do a live stream on the on the Oshkosh, because I'm just going to do a raw, like, morning video in his yard like I did with the bus, and that's still my best video ever. So not that I plan on this one doing like crazy good, but I just want to just do a nice video of just like walking around talking to Rob about his Oshkosh. And why in the world does he need two, right? I should be home second week of January. Yeah, I hear you, dude. I think about you a lot, like when I'm doing stuff like this, because you are a mechanically, technically minded soul, and not that you don't have a place you can work on stuff or tools to call your, like, but just to actually have that, like, that place that you once had, and the shop, or just a garage and a floor jack. I get it. So I don't really totally know where to start on this. Well, I mean, I do, but I'm just thinking about how I want to approach it. We got to put the AC compressor on, the alternator, and the power steering pump. But before we do that, we have to hook up our wiring, because that all hides behind all of that. So we're going to do the wiring and our power, our rack and steering power. The pressure switch in the rack and, oh my God, I can't talk. And the rack and pinion tells the ECM, hey, I'm being turned, do something with, make a little bit more RPMs to, there's a wire that goes way down there. And if you forget that, I can imagine it being a major pain in the butt. And the place that took this motor out, I'm really, 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 really hoping they didn't cut the trans harness off of the engine harness, because a rodent chewed all the wiring on our old harness, like completely chewed it all in spots. So it'd be really nice that if this one is complete, that would be a bonus. Just don't cut the wrong zip tie. Well, I'm sorry, just don't cut a harness. You can cut the wrong zip tie. Zip ties are plentiful. I need to move my I've got my garbage all the way over here because I've been throwing stuff in a little pile. I'm embarrassed to do it on camera. No. We'll just set them down there. Oh, sweet. This is the harness I needed. Look at that. Look at there. Voila. Look at that. What does that even go to? I forgot. I think this back here. Yes. Yes, it's our T-case harness, and it looms up and around here. This goes like this. There's a lot of little brackets that'll go into, but I was like freaking out about this because I didn't want to have to do any wiring. Like, who wants to fix wires when you're not getting paid? Well, I mean, you are, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? We're getting paid, hopefully. But what do we got here? This will go up top and in the car. This is the ECM harness, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we got this coming down here. Sweet. Here's our oil pressure sensor. Sorry, that was probably really loud. The angle of the... Okay. That's good. That one doesn't want to click in, though. How come? Any debris? There might be a little piece of debris in there. Probably not, though. No. These connectors just don't all fit like they used to. And there's 114 here for the diff that if we put the alternator in, we'll never be able to get to it. Up till 3:30 last night. Boy, this music here. I don't know what y'all can hear on it, but not what I was after. I wanted something a little more upbeat. Not get rid of that. Happy. Turbo Tiki. Turbo Tiki. Always good to have two of everything you need, Westy says. For sure. Rob, have to pop out into another live in Vegas. Have a good one, Ford. Always love seeing you here. Stop and say hi anytime. So you splice some wires if you have to. Yeah, but with these CAN bus systems and everything works on weird little signals and I don't. Be back later. Cool. Craig Built, I sent him to your site. Yes, thank you for that, Ford. Very good dude. I appreciate that. Soul Free with God 77. Jesus, I would hate that. Hate being the guy paying the repair bill. Well, it's me, Soul Free. I'm flipping it. Yes, I did. I found the car for a good price, and it needed an engine. Hopefully nothing more. But it's a nice, clean, all-wheel drive G37. It's about 150,000 miles. And I think a younger kid got it. Well, I know because I saw him. And then he put this exhaust on it, this $2,000 exhaust, and then touched the valves to the pistons in this motor. So I got this motor, and we're going to hopefully sell it and not lose my tail. That would be the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. But we'll see what happens. I've been known to make a lot of really poor choices and bad financial decisions when it comes to stuff I should be really, really good at for some reason. It is, yes. Anything. Well, I hate that quote of interference. Like any motor is an interference motor, no matter what. But yes, these things here, and I'm going to do a separate video. So stay tuned. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. That I'm going to do a second video, and we're going to tear this puppy down, completely strip it down to the bare block, and see what happened. We know what happened. We all know what happened, but I want to see what's failing, if it's this brass bushing that I suspect in the VVEL motor on the back of these. They've got separate motors. Basically, this engine, if you were to take a hacksaw and not cut the crank, but scientifically separate the crank into two, other than that, take a hacksaw and cut the engine right here. It's just a triple, and it's a triple. And it's literally so tripled that it's got its own throttle body for each side. It's very, very independent, but yet obviously connected. And then when they lift and change the duration of the intake cam, which we'll get into, they use this this big screw assembly and a wiper motor. And I think there's some brass bushings in there that wear out if you don't change your oil, or I'm not 1,000% sure, but we're going to find out eventually. But right now we're just luming the wiring. Oh, we're going to tighten that 14 so we don't forget that. And all the other ones and stuff, like the flywheel bolts, or I'm sorry, not the flywheel, but the flex plate to torque converter, we'll do that up in the car. We'll do pretty much everything that we can. You know, I'm not going to lift the motor up again for any reason. So whatever we can't get accessibly here, we'll get up in the air. But obviously everything here needs to be addressed, because once it's up in the car, it's very hard to get to. That's why it's down here. That's why it's down here. There's a long 10 that goes on there, and I got some little piles. There it is. Keep little piles. Oh. It's got the Phillips head. That one goes there. This one goes there. Maybe. Yeah. You get some duplicates. Not that there'd be duplicates of that, but I bet you oil's gonna, if any oil runs out, I'm gonna put it right back. Yep, it wants to. Okay, which is good. That's a good sign. But if I don't tighten it up now, I'll tell myself, oh, I'll tighten it up when I do the oil change, or when I put a new oil filter on it, we'll tighten it up. And I won't. I'll forget. Not that it would be the worst thing in the world, but I don't want it to get stuck in Sterling's front steer tire on a semi. Not that it would probably phase it, but hey, I've only had one flat tire in my life, and I saw it coming, and I heard it. Pissed me off. Thankfully, I had an air compressor that my son found at the dump that plugged into a 12-volt socket that actually worked. I walked to Napa and bought a tire plug kit and was able to plug my car and get back home. But it was one little chunk of crap in the road, a steel or metal, and I saw it, and I went back and picked it up. pissed me off. I'm like, swerve, swerve. And I didn't want to swerve because there's like, I couldn't. Before my brain processed, it was over. Thankfully, it was in the center tread, not in the sidewall. Good to go. Only flat tire in my life. I've had like 19 flat tires, Westy says. That sucks. That sucks. What is... Oh, okay, power steering and alternator. And then our big one for the alternator will come from down here. So we're going to go ahead and do that next. And put the alternator on there. But we also have a lot of wiring that goes with it. So I got to deal with that quick. Huh. I'll just show you what I'm swapping here. We're going to... I just left the one thing, the main wire to the alternator attached, not because like it's hard to take off, but more or less for routing reasons. That way I can kind of, I guess, keep track of where. I wonder how the noise cancellation is. This is not going to most likely be on the new motor. Oh, that was loud. And I've got like a 1,000,000-foot extension on it. So all my torque gets eaten up, but I like it. No, okay, thanks, Westy, for saying that. I appreciate that. I thought there was one more, yep. Okay. We'll put our... I'm on the other side of the motor now, but you'll see. Well, Sterling, anytime you're in the area, you're always more than welcome to wrench here or use the hoist or whatever you got to do. I know with the big rigs, I can't do nothing, but you and Rob would sure have some good conversation about trucks, and he knows so much about German cars that I don't. Well, he works at a Mercedes restoration shop and gets to play with Gullwings. At one time, he had like 5 of them in the shop. It's pretty freaking cool. And be even cooler if I could be a part of that someday. And I might someday, but not anytime in the near future due to the owners. I couldn't work for them, so I won't even try. There's just no way. No way, Jose. And that'll be for another time and date, because Rob can be watching and he knows what's up. It takes a certain character to deal with certain people, we'll just say that. And Rob, my neighbor Rob, is a certain character that can deal with certain people. And I think that's how he is so good at being a good person. Okay, look at that big old silly bracket. That's on the motor, so I don't know why I took that off. But we should be pretty close to... Oh my golly, jeepers. Okay, we're gonna... We can... I don't like to cut and break stuff, but we're not gonna cut and break anything. We're just gonna... They've got these stupid little... I grabbed the worst tool for this. Well, it should be an angle one. There we go. Now one more Nissan and their little endless wire looms. Better than Ford though, and their hockey tape loosely thrown about. A boot. Okay. I'll take this 1000 amp alternator. This thing better not be bad. This thing better charge. These things are notorious for alternators going out at 160,000. I kind of originally thought that might be what it was, but my luck. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So there, we'll resituate stuff. Andy Ramadmulana. This is 3,696 cc's, I believe. 3,690. 3,700 cc's, but it's just under that. 3,700 cc's. .7 liter VQ. Got to be a VQ37. Is the shop light flickering or is the camera being funny? It isn't bad, but the light, thank you for saying that, because I keep seeing that in my phone or on my camera. My highly super expensive Canon ZL9000. I'm going to shut those off once and see if that makes a difference. I'm going to put my hand in front. Seems better. Well, I shut a couple lights off that I think are affecting it. And I'm really glad you said something, because I noticed that. But last one I had was a sidewall. Oh, sidewall flats. It just sucked, because what can you do? Nothing. Can't do nothing. You got to replace the darn tire. The darn tire's got to be replaced. So this goes here. Maybe. Yep. And then I got to find the alternator bolt. It's just one bolt. There's no other ones that length in the whole process. But like everything seems to sometimes just grow legs and run away. I usually put them back in the hole, but I pretty obviously didn't in this one. However, I have a couple more spots I gotta look. I moved a few things around getting that motor in and out, so Oh, by golly, what do we got here? We got exact. Oh, I'm missing a whole bunch of parts too, so that would have never worked. I don't think. Oh, yeah, it would. So this was already on there, so we just need. That's good too because this was broke. See how this is cracked? That's off the old motor, and our new motor has that bracket. So we just need this one bolt. Well, it feels kind of. We'll put a little skunk piss on there before we put it back in. And then we've got these two. That's way too long. That doesn't. No, that's not right. Okay, well, that's kind of. It's one of these two. It was in the bracket. So this one's for sure alternator. We'll thread that one in by hand or kind of just see how that feels. If you've ever done some junkyard motors, sometimes things don't always feel like they're brand new. Little corrosion gets in places, thread locker, silicone, wrong bolts. I put them in the wrong hole. That's what she said. You got me. I said that's what she said under my breath. I don't know if you heard that, but Westy beat me to it. Do you know Mike Hawk? Penny Abner. Hi, Penny. Hopefully you're having a good day. Nice to see you here. I do not. Mike Hawk. No, I do not. But what? Who, and who, what, where, why, when? Those things, I guess. I wonder if I'm. This is tight. I know it's tight to. Okay. Oh, our stupid little bracket got. There you go. Stay up there. This alternator feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. I should have. There's a little bracket, not a bracket, but a bushing. And if you tap it or clean it up a little bit, I think I might have to. It's right here. It's pretty common on, especially Nissan alternators. I don't know if it is on other cars, but just stay here. How frustrating. This is. I meant that's what she said when you said that's way too long. Oh, this is tight as. I meant when I put it in the wrong hole. That's something you don't want to do on an aluminum block, especially if you zing it down. Can definitely break stuff. Normally I would use a little brass hammer that I can't find at the moment. My son. Nope. Okay, good. Good boy. Found it. So I'm just gonna. I like to just. It's hard since it's right here, but. And I'm not hitting the alternator I'm just tapping on that brass bushing, which probably didn't move at all. And it's not a brass bushing. I don't know why I just said that. I don't think my whizzer wheel can get in there. Well, let's see if it can, because if my whizzer can get in there, will it be ready for the weekend? Oh, handle 8701. I don't know. Oh yeah, by the weekend for sure. For sure. I'm hoping to drive it. Start it tomorrow at some time. I don't see why that wouldn't be feasible. Sometimes just a little crap on there. We'll see. I doubt that's going to make a difference. It looks like I might have to. I don't know why everyone seems to be a little different, but where's our little bracket? Yep, I should have taken the alternator or the oil filter thingy off, but since it's right here, is this even the, there it goes. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll get a a 10, 12, and a 14 and an all. Alls work so good. Just needed a good scratching. Exactly. Oh, Jesus, what is playing on the radio now? I selected upbeat jazz, not... What the Lord? Loophole. Acid jazz. I have a second microphone like 3 inches away from the little speaker. It's the most rinky-dink setup I've ever aspired to have. But hey, I'm live on YouTube, so that's all that matters. We're doing it. I also have a GM 1.4 liter engine. I want to disassemble. I offered it to a buddy and he doesn't want it, so. I'd like to do that. I love I enjoy watching I Do Cars. Eric, he does some pretty good videos. But it's not my niche, you know, I don't care why stuff breaks. I just want to fix it and keep moving on. But I am interested to see, because this will be the second motor I've done on one of these in like the last about one a year now, and they seem to be, if you search for this car online, there's quite a few of them that have motors. I love rotary engines, Westy. I wish I could share a screen. I can. I've got a video. Excuse me. Where is it? I will share a screen here in just a second. Speaking of rotary bikes or rotary engines, come on, I just had it. I might have moved it. I hope I didn't move it. I think I did. Well, so my neighbor Rob, we have a late friend passed away this summer. That had one of 2 rotary motorcycles in the United States. I'm sure there's more, but of this Crichton brand, and it was like 220 horse, and the bike weighed 280 pounds. Just insane numbers. So I think rotaries are cool. I think they are also a waste. Like, they're not inefficient. Well, they are. I mean, they make a shit ton of power and they're super lightweight. But I think they require more maintenance than what your typical piston powered engine is going to require. They do burn oil and they do wear out kind of fast. They are easier, I would think, easier to work on. I used to work on a Mazda RX-7 when I was really like in my late teens, early teens. My dad had a client who would always come to the shop like every 10K, and she'd pop the hood. He'd run out with a new set of NGKs or whatever the plugs were. He'd always have a set in stock. Screw them in, and away she'd go. Like, it was every 10,000 miles or something because it would burn so much oil. I want to say it was even maybe possibly carbureted in some fashion. Boy, this song's really freaking annoying too. Jesus Christ. I just picked a random playlist so I could maybe try to find some, more fucking Christmas music. So yeah, I think they're cool. I'll share. Oh, I could do it right here from my computer. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. And then it'd be really cool to have a mini rotary powered chainsaw. It'd be so cool. Running like 20,000 RPMs. Whoa, that was loud. So yeah, I've got a ton of video footage. I need to do a video. Wouldn't it, dude? A rotary chainsaw would be so awesome. Yeah, so there's only one of these in the US, and the owner passed away this summer in a motorcycle crash. So I don't know where it is or what's become of it. The other one is in the UK, and I got to see it. I got to sit on it. I think I did. Either way. Yeah, I think I might have. Got to do a ton of video footage up close, but oh, what would a mini chainsaw rotary sound like? I have no clue, but I mean, if some of the car ones are turning like 10, 12,000 RPMs, I could imagine a little one would pull like 30K. Because you'd have to have RPMs, since they don't make the torque. I don't think they make torque numbers like a 4-stroke. She got to say, yeah, dude. Oh, sorry, you guys are just staring at a motor. I know there's like 750 live viewers across the globe right now, but that's just how it goes. I had to sit down for a minute. This is like the second time I've sat down today. But we're getting back up because we got an awl. We got our awl. Put that in the hole. There we go. That just really helps do a lot. I've had this my whole life with cars. There we go. What's this bolt? Oh, I wonder if this one goes up here. This one might. Oh, it's probably for this one, right? Yep. Yeah. Could look it up too. Ha! Why would we want to do that? So, any plans for I think we talked about Christmas. Anybody got any plans for Christmas out there? Anybody traveling anywhere? I think the weather is going to be kind of affecting a lot of anywhere where it's been really cold. I think it's going to be really foggy. I just didn't want to send it with the impact, and not that one, there's nothing on the back side of this that could hurt, but this one fits the wrong length. I didn't take the bolt out either on this engine. And I don't, oh God, it goes way, way, way. Okay, I can see the boss. Let's take it back out. If you're ever in question, you want to kind of make sure that you can see the boss. And where do I mean by that? Where is it? Like the casting, it ends. You can't see it. Huh. There you go. So I want to put this bolt in here, and I'm concerned about it bottoming out. And indeed, there's no way that that's the right bolt for that hole. So we just need to take a look. And I know it's not for this hole, but maybe it is near the tensioner, or maybe it is this bolt and the tensioner bolt is in the tensioner, because that's where I would have left it. So that's what we're going to do next, is find the tensioner. That might lead to our bolt, our mystery bolt. Oh, where did I set it? I got little piles. Feel professional, eh? I kind of like the sound of this song, from what little I can hear. Ay. Oh, there it is. All right. That is definitely not. Huh. I just don't like that. Oh. You know what? Let's try this one for the heck of it. Remember how I said that felt a little... Oh, imagine that. Look at that. Do. I'm really special. But there we go. We figured it out and we didn't screw it up. Sandra Willoughby. Nice to see you in here. Hope you're having a good day. Hello. I am here. Staying home. So is Sandra. I'd rather watch engine work. Merry Christmas, though, Westy. And I'm a girl. I do have a little we got a Christmas bow, and I got a little joy to the world. Oh, we got Santa watching us too. He's got his troll. Not a very happy looking Santa though this year. He's been busy. So Merry Christmas. Oh, and I got some lights going over here on my clean workbench. Look at that. Look at those festive lights. There's a white one. The red one's burnt out. Oh, there's a couple on the floor. Going to that pretty yellow bike. Oh, no, but my mom has the dancing ones, Sandra. Yeah, my mom has a couple of those, and all the moose and the rocking chair. They're actually descendants of my grandmother's. But no, he's not moving. How many Christmas Santa lived through by now? I think he should be retire already. Yeah, I agree, maybe, but I like going with it. My son, it'll be interesting to see how much he goes with it this year, because he'll be basically like 13. And at 13, I know I wasn't really, but my sister would have been 9. But I'm sure I ruined it for her way before then. So I don't know where to put still learning. They gotta dance. I agree. They should dance. Yeah, she's got the Santa, the moose thing that sits in the rocking chair. And that one I think sings Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And that's why we have it, because my grandma just loved that song. We would always sing it and listen to it on the record player. Which, when you think about it, talking about your grandmother getting ran over by a reindeer on a holiday that we're all celebrating as a family. But, yeah, that's what it's all about. And then the Rusty Chevrolet song. My grandpa loved that song. He loved the Rusty Chevrolet from the Youpers. I don't know if any of you guys have heard that one, but that's a pretty, really not like overly funny song, but it is funny. The video is really funny. There's a lot of silicone in here too that I'm kind of chugging through. I'm just gonna tighten it up with my. That's silly. I'm embarrassing myself when I do that. Okay, and we can do this one. So I'm going to leave this loose till we get the power steering on, because it's so much easier to put the belt on. When you can just it goes behind here, so it's just easier to do it that way. And then now we can route our wiring up where it needs. That's going to go all the way over to the starter. This is going to go to the battery up there. And we'll just kind of let that hang out and do its thing for now until we get the power steering pump put on. That's nice and tight there. Where's our pump? Right here. We still have to tighten this 12 and our alternator. I don't want to tighten it down all the way because I didn't even get it in the... completely missed the hole. Our awl comes in so handy. There we go. Okay. And then a 12. It's 14 and a 12. I hope I'm taken out by a reindeer. Sadly, a gentleman was just killed by a buck in Minnesota. An elderly couple were outside in their yard or something, and a pissed off buck took him out. Not there. I think he died of complications from it, but jeepers. You're embarrassing yourself by using the impact driver instead of a good old-fashioned... Going through something, Sandra. That's what she said. Sandra says, waiting for me to die for that money I've left my estate to animals in need. Well, that's nice of you, but please don't die on us. Live your best life. That's good. Yes, we want that. Everybody, I've lost a lot of friends and stuff in recent, and this year really a lot. And yeah, so just love life, love every minute. Westy, have you seen Lucas Tracy's animal tier list today? Sandra, if you're an animal lover, it is not an animal mean video. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So this guy talks about, I don't know, Westy could probably preface it way better than I could. I would just talk way too much and mess it all up. But Lucas Tracy has been known for making tier lists on what animals he could beat in a fight. And it is so funny. It is so funny because he never you have to use your hands. Like he talks about beating these animals with his bare hands like a walrus. What was the whale? The one whale, like he goes way out there and he's laughing his ass off the whole time. He knows he's full of it. And but it's so genuinely like real, fake, and funny all at the same time. Tonight's one was really good. Puts a puffer fish above like a Kodiak bear or, an Amazon, which, I mean, in all fairness, like your odds, but if you don't swim in the ocean, you don't have to worry about puffer fish. No, dude, he's back with an animal tier list. You're not subscribed to Luke. That's too bad. I don't watch a lot of his stuff, to be honest, but I do love his animal tier list, and I'm going to link it. I'll see if I think I can link it here. I'll do that quick. But Sandra, I would really advise that you watch, like go back in his videos and stuff and start with his very first animal tier list. Because it gives you context. I think he's done like 3 or 4 of them now, maybe 5 or 6. They're big hits on his channel. They're big. He's got 160,000 subscribed. Yeah, okay, so it's titled Overrated or Underrated, and he calls himself an animal expert. Animal expert ranks dangerous animals is the title of it. So it is so funny. I would love to watch it with like Forrest Galante. I'm pasting it, or here you go. Hey, Caesar7740, great channel. Are you changing the oil? Yes, we are. And we're going to do the filter while it's out here. That's funny. Yep, just a quick, I'm a 5-minute oil change shop. So we're going to get this thing back in a jiffy. It'll be race ready tomorrow. we won't be late for race wars. I agree, Sandra. And just like animals, if you treat them poorly when they're young, they'll grow up to be bad. And not to say that children won't either, but I think that the sanctity of childhood should be protected at all costs. And anybody that does harm to animals deserves a special place in a very warm place, or a cold. I mean hell. But you could lock them in a box too for as long as you want. That's fine with me. I had not with that motor. Could I drive it to the grocery store? I had a couple experiences this year that have, man, it's been a crazy year. I thought when I turned 40, it was going to but now I think 45 is really the wake up call, really the big wake up call. Although I don't feel any different than I did when I was 39, Westy. So I still feel like I'm 22 physically. I don't know. I don't have problems like people talk about. So I'm grateful that way. But I witnessed something last night that I'm still not ready to talk about, because I think I feel guilty about how I handled it. And I think I could have handled it much more violently. But I had 3 kids in my possession at the time, and I had to make adult choices. But I saw a guy, I'll just preface it really quick. I saw a guy, okay, so I went to Taco Bell last night. I had to pick my son up and 2 of his buddies. And I thought, what better way to throw $50 in the trash than stop at Taco Bell and feed these 3 animals and then myself. So I went through the drive. So I pulled up and I dropped them off. It wasn't very busy at all. And this is a small rural town in southern Wisconsin. So I pull up and I said, maybe this would give me a break. I'll send you guys in and I'll go through the drive-thru. Brilliant, right? Okay, I'm going to hit this. I don't know if it's going to be loud. Not too bad. And then this one we're leaving. This one we're going to hit. Yeah, that was loud. And then 12 and a 12 here, and we're leaving that one loose. And so they go in and they're in line, and I pull up to the speaker and order my order. And then I pull up and I'm behind a white car. But I look out my driver's side window towards the parking lot, and I see this big pit bull looking dog running at my van. This is weird. You don't see this shit in public. I never have. And so I'm trying to process it, and I see a guy running behind the dog like 15 feet yelling, come here, and I thought for a second, just open your car door a little bit, just crack it and say, come here, puppy, or something, to maybe distract the dog for a second so the owner can grab it by its collar and walk it back to its car or whatever. But by the time my brain thought that, they were already past me, and there was 2 cars in front of me, and he ran past those. He ended up circling the whole restaurant, and I look and I see a door open on the car and the dog jump in. Oh, cool. Problem solved, right? Right. Wrong. The guy pulled the dog back out and proceeded to not be nice to it. And I opened my car door and I said as loud as I could, because the car in front of me then opened their door and looked back and said, is everything okay? But we're not there yet. So I opened my car door and said, very loudly and very sternly that you are making a really bad choice and that is not going to help anything by doing what you're doing. And he told me to shut the up. And I said, why don't you come over here and do what you're doing to that animal to me? Come on, come over here and do what you're doing to that dog and do it to me. And he got in his car and left. And I got his license plate and called the police and interviewed with the police and a sheriff. And he'll be in, like, they got it on video. And I said, you know, it's one thing, like, if, like, I'll tell you what, my son has gotten in the car from the store and I have rained hell down from the skies, you know, not physically, but I made sure that was never going to happen again. But I didn't take him back out of the car and continue the process in public. Like, and I wasn't whooping or beating either. It was just like, hey, we don't do this. And if you want to give your kid a little crack, you know, on the hand, across, whatever you got to do. Hey, cheek, butt, whatever. It's your kid. But leave it at that. Like, and don't do it in public. If you're going to do it in your car, do it in your car, but don't do it. Don't pull it back out and do it. And that's what I have a real big problem with. And I believe, like, more kids should be, you know, I don't know what I can say or can't say on YouTube about that, but, like, you know, there's a lot of softies with parenting. And I, as a single parent, feel guilty of that at more times than not. Because we don't have a mom here to nurture and love, and a dad to be the, you know, I've got to do all those roles. So it's a hard road to walk down in that regards, but we'll get there. And then, you know, to having those kids in my possession, I feel like I stole them. I feel like they're commodities or something. I didn't want to make a scene. You know what I mean? Like, what can I do, honestly, other than go to jail at this point? And sadly, the dog is, you know, wants to get away. I don't blame the thing from wanting to run away, especially after seeing that. So that was really sad and unfortunate. And that's really the whole story. I ended up telling the whole story. I've never witnessed anything like that in my life in person. I've never witnessed anything like that to another person. I guess I was accosted once, and I punched the person in the face. Me and my buddy were robbed once when we were in 8th grade. We were jogging. He was in, like, cross country, and I hated running, but I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I can do it. And someone got out of a car with a baseball bat and wanted my buddy's hat. So he gave him the hat, and then we went home and told my dad, and then we drove around town and found him, and my dad cornered him in a store, in a gas station, until the cops came. So that was pretty cool. But that was it. Now that I live out here in the middle of nowhere, where's the hole for this little... It must... Well, we're just going to let it hang out for a minute. We'll put our compressor on there and see where things line up. That's it. That's it. That's the story of my... Oh, I got to rob a gas station once legally for the police department. I ran a stop sign on my bicycle and almost got taken out by a detective on his way home for lunch or something. And he chewed my ass out, and then went to my dad's shop one day when I was working. I was in probably 8th grade. And he's like, hey, for being a dumbass the other day, you want to do us a favor and rob a gas station? I'm like, yeah. Heck yeah, let's rob some gas stations. So he picked me up at my house like at 7 or 8 o'clock. The lady knew it was going to happen. It was like a staged thing. And sorry, I'm not keeping up with the chat or checking it out here. I'm just trying to talk for a minute while I do some things. And so, oh Christ, I forgot what I was talking about. Let me find my bolt quick and then I'll continue rambling. The music too. The music distracted me. I can't take this like old circus music. And I can barely hear it, but it's enough to distract me. I would too almost go. Oh, I would go to jail for an animal, but those kids, yeah, I own these humans, LOL. They're the boss, right? Friends are a great commodity. They sure are. Traded the hat for the bat. Oh, yeah, looking back on it now, man. Oh, looking back on so many things that happened in those. Yeah, my dad he's a good guy. He's still with us. Yeah, he's a good dude. I would have said, I want your hat, bro. I want your bat, bro. Yeah, I would have too, but we were in 8th grade and they got out of a car and yeah. Will that fit in your Miata? No, but I think an LS would. I think these are too much stuff going on. But if you have a Miata, that's awesome, Sandra. My friend Milo is big into Miatas. Oh yeah, the gas station. So they give me this. I know. I hear you go fast. Good to see you in here. How did the Japs go from getting the sun dropped on them to over-engineer anything possible in 40? I know. Well, then they made it perfect and like, yeah, the pinnacle of all engineering was like, especially automotive, was 2012, 2010, and then even 2002 was really, really bulletproof stuff. But a lot of the stuff still, like my 2014 Sienna has the original trans and motor, and that's just turned 300K. 300K. Got the last year, the original 91. Nice. That is awesome. That's Wright Brothers moon landing type of acceleration. So the gas station I got to rob when I was yep. So they just gave me like a dummy gun, like a dummy gun. And they said, go in and just, tell her you want the money. You can be violent about it, but don't like hurt her or break anything or take anything, like. And so I just went in and I was like looking at the gum and stuff, and she was at the cash register, and she knew it was going to happen, but she didn't know who it was going to be or when, really. And then I think she might have looked at me and said, are you here to do this? Or are you going to do this now or something? And then I pulled the device out. I had to stay careful what I say. And I'm like, give me the money. And I said the B word too, I think. I did. I might have said it. And so she pushes the button. And then the cops told me before I robbed it not to run. He's like, when we get there, don't run, because they're going to take you down. Like, this is a training exercise and we need to do what we need to do. And so I go outside and immediately like a SWAT van pulls up and dudes jump out. And I immediately just start to run. There's no way I got scared, even though I knew it was fake. In my head, I'm like, run, dude. Don't freaking stand here and like run. Put them to the test. And so I dodged a couple around a gas pump, and then another dude just grabbed me like a toy and just, I'm like, okay, I give up. And he's like, okay, cool. And then they gave me a ride home, and that was it. That was just literally it. done and over. I think I got to go in and talk to the lady for a little bit, and I think I apologized to her for saying the B word, maybe. That was so much fun. But I never robbed a gas station again, and never would. That's so funny. And I used to ride my bike to the Super America. I don't know if those are still around or not, but there was a Super America. We called it SA. SA, not. And my dad would handwrite a note. He had very unique handwriting, and it was all caps. And the lady that worked at the gas station knew who we were. You know, people knew. I think she had a daughter a year older than me or whatever. But and he would say that I give my son Carrie permission to get a candy bar and a pack of Cool Kings. And if mom needed cigs, I'd get a pack of Newports. And I'd ride home and get my beer, you know, because they had shit to do. They were cooking, or, you know, they had stuff to do. And my dad was working, and you get the kids out of the house for a little bit too. Go on, you know, and go get the parents your cigarettes. Holy white trash, right? Wow. But I don't know. Some might say some might say I turned out. I don't know about all right, but we turned out. Come on. We're going to take the old motor apart, go fast. I'm really interested to see what. It's always something in the VVEL system on these that fails. And it seems to be, no matter what you do, always around like the $150 mark. This motor particularly has lower miles on it, I believe. So hopefully it'll be good. You know, I want to hear that exhaust a little bit and get on it a little bit before I sell it to make sure it's not going to break right away. But at the same time, it's such a finicky system, and they had it dialed in with their variable intake and exhaust valve cam timing. Like, just play with the timing of these two cams, and play with the timing and do what you need to do. But no, they had to also play with the duration and the lift. Well, the duration is, yeah, so there. We can put our belt on. Let's do that. There's no way I'm going to remember how that went. I'm going to just have to look at a picture. I'm going to have, I keep looking at my freaking screen and it's been paused for like 20 minutes. Holy shit, I'm behind in chat. Screen and it's been paused. Oh my God. Go fast. I'm going to probably have to skip a couple of your comments here. Flip headlights for Sanders. I love the flip headlights. We had a C4 Corvette with the flip up headlights and I love that. Oh, I love dirt bikes too. I actually am a motorcycle channel. That specializes in everything else. I've never gotten maced. Have you? $8,000 kits to rebuild your modern, brand new front suspension and forks into grade A top quality just for the kit. That's nuts. You should be able to ride stock suspension deep into expert territory. Deep into the expert territory on stock suspension. Realistically, suspension hasn't changed much in the last 40 years or more. I agree, 100%. Compression, rebound, and dampening. I rode my go-kart into town. That's pretty cool. My son illegally rode a four-wheeler into town yesterday, unbeknownst to me. When new bikes stock are in the 8K range, just getting your forks dialed in now is 8K. Yeah, exactly. And it's going by whatever notes you give the suspension guy. We did, didn't we? Yes. Yes, we did. If people could only tune their own suspension, it can't be done at home in less than an hour and less than $100 in parts when needed. I don't know. I tuned mine. I paid Ed Key for an afternoon of his time to give me a lowdown on suspension, and it was the best 4 hours I've ever spent on suspension. And next to some emulators and playing with fluid and a few springs, you shouldn't need to do much more than that. You should be able to dial it in within a few track days, and then if you get better and better with your riding, then you can make a little bit. But I always found once your suspension is kind of set, then it's you need to get better and faster. And then once you can outride your suspension, then, you know, good trash though, Sandra says. Would it fit in my Miata? Okay, there I go. I didn't miss too much. Shoot, no, that would burn my beautiful blue eyes. I don't remember what I said about that. Most custom cars use Crown Vic suspension. Yes, they do. I've got an 8.8 sitting over there for the RAV4 when I get going on it. He didn't fall far from. No, he didn't. All right, so what are we going to do? We got to find a belt. We got to find a belt. And I was going to look up a diagram because there's no way I'm going to remember that or even attempt it. You can't even pretend. I mean, maybe if I still worked at the dealership and did 1 or 2 a week, but there's no way. Oh, my son has school in the morning. They have a half day tomorrow. So there's that. All right, what do we got here? VQ37. The VQ37. Are we missing an idler pulley? No. All right. Get ready for the craziest serpentine belt. No, you want to see crazy. Look at like a GM Oldsmobile Pontiac 3-point. Was it the 3.4 with the dual overhead cam 24 valve V6 that had a timing belt so big that a 6-foot man could stand in it? It was insane. Just absurdity. And they all broke. There's none left. There is a couple out there on YouTube. Oh, I don't think I threw the belt too far. I mean, I know I didn't throw it, but at the same time, maybe it, I do have a bad habit of setting stuff down in spots that I think I'll remember it. It's very possible. No, it wouldn't be up on top of the car. It could be in the car. That's a very good possibility, but not a high probability. We'll walk over here quick. Huh. I really wanted to put the belt on. It's kind of a sign that just we're getting close. Oh, there it is. I see it. It's in decent shape. Although this pulley here does have quite a bit of surface rust. But honestly, it's just going to come off after a while. Okay, I'm going to try to look at my picture. See if you can guess how it goes. And then watch me route it in a completely different direction than what you think it might go, because that's how my brain works, is like, oh, it might work like this. Where's the 14? Jesus. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's off by 2 ribs right there. Talk about a freaking tensioner. Guess I should have. Okay. There we go. Pretty cool. Not really, but one more thing quick. Not quick, I guess, but I had 2 copper washers for the power steering. I wanted to put that power steering hose on, but until I find said washers, I can't put them on. And I know they're around here somewhere, probably right here. Yep. Got a little copper washer that's going to go underneath here. Another one that's going to go above with our banjo bolt. And that'll go right there. And I think I used one size too big of a socket because it kind of stuck onto the head of the bolt when I took it off. So I just left it onto the bolt, and I figured, you know what? When we tighten it up, it'll come off. Hopefully. There. So, and it's kind of rusty, so. There. That's good there. That's plugged in. Boy, oh boy, that is so close to the exhaust, but it just is what it is. This goes right there. Okay. And this, it's like some of these brackets need to be, it's double bracketed, I think. Oh yeah, this one wait a minute here, folks. Oh, this one needs to be routed underneath here. That's going to give us our slack. This bracket here is what I'm trying to do, but there's a duplicate. So all we really need to do is button that wiring up, plug in a few transmission connectors, I've got a new CV boot coming tomorrow for this axle here, so I'm not going to put this axle shaft in, although I can put our mid shaft in. And you say, what's a mid shaft? Well, that's this one here. This goes through the oil pan and connects to the front differential. So this will give us a power takeoff for this side of the wheel. But I'm going to wait to put this in because I want to clean it up. And I want to put the starter in. Our starter goes down in here as well. Starter wire. I also want to clean that off a little bit with, I don't know, a file, a whizzer wheel, whatever. Clean it up on both sides so it's got a better connection than what it has. And then I was thinking about pressure washing some of this because there's just so much CV boot grease. Like this is all, anything that looks dirty is from CV boot grease getting splattered all over it for the last probably 60, 80,000 miles. So there's that. But other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. That's about it. And then all I need to do is just lower the car back on to the subframe, lining up this with our little pins up here. And pretty much that's it. Put some bolts back in, a handful, a lot of stupid wiring to get this back into the car. That's not really that big of a deal. Thank you. Nice and clean, Sander says. Ford says, Tim has a 68 Cougar, does 932s. Jesus. That's moving. Have a good night, Westy. Thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate it. Always good to see you. I'm trying to... I drive it to the grocery store. You caught up? Getting there. I'd put that in my 96 Bronco. Oh, that'd be cool. 10:39. What is it? Is it 10:39? It's got to be later than that. It's almost 1 a.m. Is Ford modular 1 or 2 cam belts? I think they're 2 cam chains. They're chains though, I believe. I don't think Ford ever ran a belt on their newer modular stuff. I know they had a timing belt on their, well, now they're running wet belt oil pumps, wet belt timing belts. 302 was a great motor. Put it in a Miata. That would be fun. I love the new car smell. Where'd it go, Fasco? Oh, 10:50 in California time. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get going here soon too. I'd say I got my goal accomplished. Tomorrow I've got to, so tomorrow, let me see here where I can stand where people might be able to see me a little bit better. I wish I could, I need a camera person, but tomorrow I'm gonna do a quick video. I swear I just saw a mouse run across the counter. Feels pretty stable. I'm gonna go up to my neighbor Rob's and do a quick video on his Oshkosh. And then I'm going to come down here, run it through my editing software real quick, maybe smooth a few things out on it, but then upload it right away. Because he got another Oshkosh MH40 M4906 with a 12-liter Cummins diesel, 40,000 pound vehicle, big truck. So I want to do that because the last video I did that way on his bus did pretty good. And it's pretty cool too. So why not? And then I have to give him a ride to work. That's going to be 10:30, come home, probably finish the video and upload it. Then my son's done with school at noon. He wants to go to Madison, so that's like a half hour away, not a big deal. I keep looking away because I swear to God there's a mouse running across my bench. And then I'll be back to finish this up. So I probably won't even touch this tomorrow. Maybe for a little bit in the morning, but other than that, it won't be until the afternoon or evening. I wanted to have it done by the weekend. And it's not this that's taken long. It's all the other things in life, like laundry and son, interruptions, phone calls, email, not emails. I haven't checked my email in weeks. But we'll get there. The holidays are upon us, right, folks? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. But thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping in and saying hi, spending time here. Every stream, you just never know what it's going to be. This is pretty kind of boring to me. But I was going to do a live on the Oshkosh in the morning. No live. Just going to do videos. Going to try to focus on that. And if I can do a video where it brings value to people, then I will. Otherwise, I just want to keep focusing on what I got to do. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. We'll talk to y'all soon.